On behalf of the University of Strathclyde, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to you to this congregation for the conferment of degrees here in the Barony Hall. Today is a special day in our university calendar because it's a graduation day. That makes it a day of celebration for our graduands who will soon become graduates, for all the family, friends and supporters, and for all the staff of the university. And we are delighted that we're once again able to hold these events in person so we can formally mark the achievements of our graduates. Now, in a few moments, it will be my privilege to cap each of our graduates as their name is called out and they come up on stage to receive their award. I shall place the graduation cap on top of their head, thereby symbolically conferring their degree. The capping tradition has its roots in ancient China. It's recognised as a rite of passage and as a mark of achievement. And for each of our graduates once capped, this also signifies that they are now part of a community of scholars at the University of Strathclyde that will stretch back over 200 years to the Scottish Enlightenment. At the close of graduation, we have a reception in a nearby learning and teaching building to which everyone is invited to come along to celebrate with some refreshments. We also plan to have an academic procession. We normally have to wait until the end of the proceedings to see how the weather will turn out, but it looks very good just now, so I think that will go ahead. In the meantime, I do hope that you enjoy the ceremony, and when you see your loved one come up on stage to receive their award, I would strongly encourage you to celebrate. Feel free to clap, to cheer, to holler, to make your presence known. These events come round not very often, and for many they're just once in a lifetime. So make the most of it. I now formally declare that this congregation for the conferment of degrees is open, and I invite Dr. Kepa Mandibil, the Associate Dean of Engineering, to present our graduates to receive their awards. Thank you.
Vice Principal, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for Research in the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, Audrey Berquin. Ana Sofía de Freitas Alves. Christopher James John Doyle. Robert James Garner. Saad Inam. Ravi Kapoor. Mariusz Kucharek. Rahil McGee. Benga Ayodele Obolabi. Ewan Patrick Rycroft. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Mechanical Engineering, Gillian Francis Crisp. Shalom Isaac Selvin. Manjot Singh. In Advanced Mechanical Engineering with Aerospace, Badis Fatih Mohammed Abu Sahim. Brandon Zamit. In Advanced Mechanical Engineering with Energy Systems, Ricky Valentine. In satellite data for sustainable development, Sinead Elizabeth Rapach. In sustainable engineering, renewable energy systems and the environment, Neil Andrew Johnston. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Aeromechanical Engineering, Fraser Hugh Allardyce. Himal Amai. Bilal Arshid. Aqib Aziz. Scott Benny. Robert Colishaw. Robert Cummins. Jacob John Carey. Ross Davey. Jenna Louise Downey. Christopher McGregor Fowler. Andrew William Gibb. Rory Scott Gillespie. Louis Scott Stewart Gray. Michelle Corina Moll Manrahan. Edward Hill. Kenneth Jack. Harry James Leach. Tom Harrick Leach. G. Kimwell Jaravata Magno. Christopher McCann. Daniel Brian McCusker. Paul Alexander McGee. Callum Peter Mahue. Maeve Claire McMahon. Samuel Muirhead. Andrew James Murray. Cameron Nolan. Sofia L. Ustubik. Adam Otterson. Michael John Page. David Peterson Poley. Jack Ellis Randall. Anthony Rayleigh. Khalil Dewar Jamil Shahid. Craig Ian Smith. Obey Suleiman. Reg Benedict Talaktak. David William Todd. Sophie Taffer Mitchell. Peter Watson. Emma Ann Wilson. Grant Wilson. In mechanical engineering, James William Allardyce. Laurie Joan Best. Dylan Bradley. Adam Paul Burkitt. Paul Alexander Caffin. Carl Cameron Carey. Christopher Graham Carson. Beth Margaret Cowie. Nathan Darrow. Jonathan Dennis Davis. Alistair James Dick. Callum Field. J. Lewis Grant. Benjamin Matthew Guthrie. Neil John Heron. James Johnston. Jyoti Sadanan Joshi. Thomas Kelly. Sean Kearney. Ewan Leach. Rocío López Pérez. Bruce Ewan Grant Mayer. Ryan Ben Mears. Andre Manchuda. Peter Joseph Matner. Joseph McDermott. Callum Stewart McHenry. Gregor McInnes. Jack Cameron McLean. Alexander Robert William McMurray. Robbie McPherson. Ewan Colin Mickle. Tausik Ahmad Mian. Fraser Miller. Ross Montgomery. Ariana Heather Mawat. Christopher Alexander Murchison. John Joseph Nelson. Alana O'Donnell. Callum Grant Oxton. Christopher Conlon O'Neill. Alexander Patterson. Alan Paulson. David John Peacock. Ines William Andrew Penman. Mark Stuart Lars Spitz. Emily Powell. Samuel Robert Primavesi. Fraser William Ritchie. Jonathan William Ross. Sophie Catherine Ross. Hamish Bernard Roy. Paul David Scott. Shona Susan Tate. Craig Ian Thompson. Amy Louise Waldron. Megan Julia Whitehouse. Andrew William Woods. In mechanical engineering with aeronautics, Gavin James Aikman. Louis Ian Goldberg. Craig Ritchie Gilchrist Jarvis. Johannes August Stevenson Kerr. Glenn Levington. Seshan Mahmood. Matthew James McLean. Eros Quintiliani. Aidan Harris Reid. Amy Madeleine Smith. In mechanical engineering with financial management, Anton Kobus. Emily Watson. In mechanical engineering with international study, Caroline Charnley. Melanie Connell. James Henshelwood. Angus Macmillan. Joseph McGovern. Mona Shahid Zuberi. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Aeromechanical Engineering, Cameron Edward Kearns. Joseph Jarvis. Madhavan Sivakumaran. Kieran Murphy. Rahul Kumar Bipinve Patel. Ross Quinn. Said Hasib Hassan Shah. James Andrew Watt. Callum William Douglas Martin. In mechanical engineering, Joshua Lewis Cummins. Omkar Sandeep Gudav. Nitai Vinay Jain. Akshay Reddy Lati. Shrey Parashar. Ellie Ross. Anil Tapa. Cameron McGray Allen. Punya Gulati. Shivashish Prasad Kassetti. Duncan Robert Lambie. Robbie McInnes. Aidan Telfer. Keir Charles Thompson. Rohan Valyavalapil Ranjit. Joshua Ruel Vaz. Abdullah Al-Balushi. Sami Arif. Mohammad Hasili. Ewan McGowan. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, Mark Burns. Sonny Harrison Ransby. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Mechanical Engineering, Tavish Anwar Mija Chugle. Shonak Sushil Kulkarni. In Advanced Mechanical Engineering with Aerospace, Balagopal Manajil Santosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and most of all, Strathclyde University's newest graduates, it is my pleasure to once again welcome you to this congregation. Quite rightly, our graduates have been centre stage, and I would like to begin my address by congratulating all of you once again on your academic achievements. Your hard work has paid off, and this has now been recognised in front of your families, friends, and the staff who taught and supported you during your time at the university. Let's give all our graduates a big round of applause. Now, in a short while, you'll be asked to join the academic procession as this leaves the Barony Hall. This invitation actually symbolises the fact that you are now full members of the academic community of Strathclyde, a worldwide community that numbers over 180,000 individuals. You now join such esteemed company as David Livingstone, the missionary and explorer, John Logie Baird, who invented television, Dame Eilish Angelini, Scotland's first female Solicitor General and Lord Advocate, Helen Liddell and Baroness Annabel Goldie, leading Scottish politicians, and the entrepreneur and philanthropist Sir Tom Hunter. Now today, we are celebrating your achievements and recognise the unique challenges that have been brought about by the coronavirus pandemic. The pandemic has challenged our health systems, it has impacted on our economies, and it has changed the way in which we work and study. However, it also demonstrated what society can achieve when we work together, and it placed science at the forefront of finding the solutions to the challenges we face. It was science and universities that delivered vaccines for the COVID-19 virus in record time, and it is science, engineering, and education that will help us address other pressing issues such as climate change. In November last year, Glasgow hosted COP26, the summit of world leaders who came together to agree measures to minimise global warming and climate change. As a university community, we are very much aware of our responsibilities to reducing our impact on the planet. This is why we've set a target to reduce our carbon emissions by 70% by 2025 and to reach net zero before 2040. COP26 also saw former US President Barack Obama visit Strathclyde to speak with our students about the important role that young people will play in tackling climate change. The former US President had a simple but powerful message for those who had gathered outside our new learning and teaching building. Pausing on the steps, he turned to everyone and said, "Get active." Now, to our graduates who are celebrating today, each of you will have benefited from the academic support from your tutors and your scholars, and more importantly, from the support from your families and your friends. For the past half hour or so, their applause has rung in your ears as you each in turn crossed the stage to receive your award. I would now like to invite all of our graduates to show their appreciation for all of the support that they have received from their family, friends and supporters. Your success, and in turn our success as a university, is in no small part due to the efforts of our staff, who are delivering our vision as a leading international technological university that is socially progressive. You can tell a lot about the values of an organisation by looking at its roots. And Strathclyde University traces its lineage back to 1796, when Anderson brought it into being, the only Scottish university founded during the Age of Enlightenment and embodying the Enlightenment principles of reason, tolerance and equality. Anderson's belief in useful learning and his commitment to taking knowledge and using this for the greater good is a motivating force which gives Strathclyde University its momentum today. Anderson believed in knowledge for the greater good and education for all, what we would call widening access and participation. Strathclyde is at the forefront of widening access to higher education by welcoming those with the ability to learn regardless of their personal circumstances. And 20% of our new students each year come from the most challenging areas of the country. Our ethos of useful learning continues to be relevant today as we seek new knowledge that we can readily apply to global challenges. We are a research-intensive university determined to make a positive difference to the lives of our students, to society, and to the world. Through our groundbreaking research, we are helping to change the world for the better. Our scientists and engineers are leading the development of innovative technologies that will facilitate the transition from fossil fuels to clean, sustainable energy sources such as wind, solar, geothermal, and hydrogen. We are developing new drugs along with new manufacturing processes that will provide cheaper, more effective treatments in the fight against cancer, kidney disease, and inflammatory disease, whilst also supporting our health services to face the challenges of health and social care and the changing demographics of the 21st century. Through our focus on entrepreneurial education, we are helping students and staff to create new sustainable businesses, as well as supporting economic growth. We are growing Scotland's manufacturing capabilities in the Advanced Manufacturing Innovation District Scotland out at Glasgow Airport, where the National Manufacturing Institute Scotland facility, which is hosted by Strathclyde, is under construction. Our globally minded students and staff are also working in sustainable development and helping to address some of the inequalities in India, Malawi, and the Gambia by establishing clean water supplies, renewable power sources, and healthcare facilities. We understand the value of working in partnership as we extend our global reach with other leading universities, including Stanford, New York, MIT, Nanyang Technological University, and the National University of Singapore. As a university, we are continuing to work to enhance our student experience, investing in our campus as evidenced by our new Strathclyde Sports Building and Learning and Teaching Building, And we are investing in student mental health and wellbeing support services and placing our students at the heart of everything that we do. Our progress in these areas has been recognised in recent years, and we are the only UK university to win the Times Higher Education University of the Year twice, having won the accolade again in 2019. And in February of this year, we received our third Queen's Anniversary Award for our leadership in advanced manufacturing. In recent times, we've also been named the Times Higher Business School of the Year, Workplace of the Year, and Research Project of the Year. And the Times Higher placed Strathclyde University 5th in the UK for student satisfaction out of 150 institutions. Recently, UK-wide results were released for the 7-year assessment of research quality in the UK's 157 universities and higher educational institutions. Strathclyde's overall assessment reported that 41% of our research was considered world-leading and a further 48% being internationally excellent. Included in the university's many research achievements, engineering is ranked #1 in Scotland and 9th in the UK for research power. And in terms of impact, engineering again ranked #1 in Scotland. Our mechanical, aerospace and engineering researchers are delivering a step change in the usage of aerial drones for the delivery of blood products, human organs and medical supplies. The development of a digital blueprint for a fully integrated drone delivery network is predicted to accelerate green aerospace technologies in Scotland, with the potential to pilot the next generation of NHS services. A pioneering new partnership has been established between engineering researchers and the charity Chest, Heart and Stroke Scotland. This collaboration aims to benefit stroke survivors by using interactive technologies to improve patient rehabilitation. Mechanical engineering students Matthew Norrie and Andrew Joseph were each given a prestigious Hammerman Award at a ceremony in the Trades House of Glasgow, and will both go on to compete for the Prince Philip Prize. Associate Principal Attila Anchechik, Professor of Naval Architecture, has been awarded the Sir William Froude Medal, the highest professional honour bestowed by the Royal Institution of Naval Architects. Now, these are just some of the many achievements that are being made by our staff and our students. And Strathclyde is being increasingly recognised as a place where things happen. And this is why our graduates are so highly prized by companies and organisations looking to recruit the best talent to drive their businesses forward. Our success is in no small part due to the collective efforts, talent and commitment of our staff. The 4,000 colleagues who deliver our vision as a leading international technological university, and like me, they are very proud of your achievements. All of our students learn how to be innovative, enterprising and creative, and they make a real difference when they go out into the workplace. So wherever your career takes you, always remember that as a Strathclyde graduate, useful learning carries with it responsibilities that go beyond academic scholarship. And finally, let me offer my sincerest congratulations to you all once again on your achievements, and I hope that you enjoy the remainder of what is a very special day. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the formal part of this morning's proceedings now concluded, which I hope you've enjoyed and you'll take away very many happy memories. We can see that the sun is still shining, so we will indeed have an academic procession from the Barony up to the Learning Teaching Building, where we have a reception for everyone to come and join us. I shall take this opportunity to invite Strathclyde University's newest graduates to join the academic procession. And ladies and gentlemen, once the academic session has passed, if you could then follow us up to the Learning Teaching Building, we shall see you there. I now formally declare that this congregation for the conferment of degrees is closed.